What's the significance of Libya in this election? That's what we'll chat about for lunch today. I know Romney didn't raise Libya much in the television debate, and I was disappointed. In fact, if you followed me tweeting during the debate, I was shouting at the television set. But when you look at it, he may have had method to what he did. Because he didn't focus on it and didn't really beat Obama up over it, it's not a partisan issue, which means that people can invest it with a credibility that they otherwise might not. And there's no blowback at Romney for making this a political football. And as a result, the media feels free to go ahead and cover it, and people are interested in what's coming out. And it's not being brushed aside as just more partisan rhetoric. The ultimate impact of the Libya disclosures, I think, will be very significant on the election. As an absolute minimum, they're ground cover. They mean that between now and the election, nothing else can grow. That there will be no other huge stories that will be able to brush past it because the media will be occupied with what really happened on the ground in Libya. There still is, of course, the chance of an October surprise, and I'll keep you posted on anything I learn about that. But the point is that you not only want to win these debates, you want to create a topic to dominate the conversation for the week or two between the debate and the election. And Libya is really providing that, and that's very useful for any candidate that's ahead, as Romney is at this point. But the facts are going to become worse and worse for this administration. We had people on the ground in Libya during the attacks who we brought home who could tell us what happened right away. And the emails and the terrorist claiming credit for the attack on his Facebook. And now the revelation broadcast over Fox News today that we had ships in the region and aircraft only 500 miles away and troops in Tripoli. And yet we let this attack go on for 7 hours without intervening. That's all going to be very damaging to Obama. Now, we don't really have to apportion blame between Obama and Hillary because it's all Obama. He appointed Hillary and he's in charge. I think that the two things that are uniquely Obama's fault are first that he set in motion a climate of minimal presence on the ground. He didn't want people seeing American soldiers around every corner. He didn't want people to feel that the United States was heavily invested in interfering in their country. And as a result, he cut way back on security throughout the entire region, which put all of our interests and people in danger. And then secondly, after the attack took place, he launched a systematic cover-up to try to pretend, when he knew that it was a lie, that this was a spontaneous demonstration that got out of hand. Totally untrue. He knew it was untrue, and he perpetrated this myth for 2 weeks, including a speech at the UN General Assembly. Now, the actual responsibility for failing to beef up our security and heed the warnings at the consulate probably belongs more to Hillary, because she was spending her whole time gallivanting around the world. She has really not been a Secretary of State. She's been a roving ambassador, and that's essentially what she was in the Clinton administration. And she hadn't stopped. She's kept the same role. She just speaks with a little bit more official clout. But the point is, she's not running the State Department. She was not there to understand and to respond to this crisis as it was gathering steam. And I believe she certainly deserves blame for that, but Obama deserves blame for not making her pay attention to the duties of Secretary of State of administering that department. So I think that in the broad brushstrokes, this is going to be something that has lots of legs left as a story, lots of revelations to come out. Obama has failed to heed the first and most basic rule of scandal defense. Get it all out right away so the forest fire burns itself out for lack of fuel. But by hiding it and saying nobody wants to know what went on more than I do and we're launching a whole investigation and covering up, you're letting this stuff come out in dribs and drabs every day, dominating that day's news cycle, and that's a disaster for any incumbent president. By the way, I want to just note that I've recently had the honor of being in touch with the widow of Ty Woods, who is one of the men who was killed defending our consulate, a former SEAL who gave his life to try to thwart this terrorist attack, apparently through a many-hour firefight. And unfortunately, he leaves behind a widow and a very young baby, an infant. And on my website, dickmorris.com, you'll find a link where you can contribute to a memorial fund to help the two of them adjust to this and hopefully give his son a little bit of a cushion to make it through the rest of his life. Thanks a lot for watching.